Now we are going to add the camera and animate the first camera. But first we will move the 3D cursor to the world origin, and to do that we press Shift S and then click cursor to world origin. And let's see, now I have to try again. Shift S, world origin, like so. So now we have the cursor here. And then I will add the camera. I press Shift A, then camera, and the camera will be positioned here at the world origin, and the direction of the camera is based on where it will look through the internal camera, so to speak, onto the scene. So that's why it is pointing in this direction. Then I will grab this C arrow, drag it upward a bit like so. And if you want to reset the angle of the camera, reset the rotation and the location, you press Alt R to reset the rotation. When you do that, the camera will be pointing downward, and if you press Alt G, it will go back to the world origin. So it will go back to the starting point. So now when the camera is placed here, I press G and Y to move the camera along the Y axis, and I will drop it here. Then I press R to rotate around the X axis, so I press X, type 90 on the keyboard and hit enter. Then I want to look at the engine through the camera, so I press 0 on the numpad. So now if we come over to view here in this menu, we see that the camera is now locked to camera view. So that means that I can change the camera angle here in the viewfinder. I press Shift and then middle mouse button to move the camera. I can also roll on the wheel to zoom out so that I can adjust what I see through the viewfinder. And I want to place the camera so that I now use the middle mouse button to move the camera so I can see the engine slightly from above, like so. This will be the starting point of the camera. Then I want to add another viewport so that I can see the scene from another angle. And to add another viewport or split this area, you can do that a couple of ways. If you have the cursor over this edge up here, so that the cursor turns into a plus sign, then you left click and hold the left mouse button there and drag to the left. You will split this area or the viewport. And if you have the cursor between these two, in the darker area here, press and hold the left mouse button. Now you can join areas. So I want to join it back to this side here. Another way of doing it is to move the cursor so that you get a double arrow, and here you right click and you get the area options menu, and here you can choose vertical split. Now you can choose where to split the viewport or the area. I will click here, so now I have two viewports. So this side will be the camera viewport where I can look through the cameras to see how it will look like, and this viewport or the area will be the area where I can look at the engine and the cameras from another angle. So when I have the cursor over this area here, I press 0 on the numpad to move out of the camera, like so. So now I can see the engine and I also can see the inserted camera. So now when we have a camera here, we go over to the outliner to the bottom. We see that we have the camera. We will name this camera as camera 1. So I will place the cursor here, press underscore to 1, so it means camera 1. Hit enter, and I will also move this camera to a collection. So I have the cursor over this area here, press M to move to collection, click new collection, and here I type video, hit enter and enter again. So now the camera has been moved to a video collection. So now I can collapse this collection here, like so. So now we have two collections, video and the Steam engine. And then we are going to animate this camera. So I come down here to the timeline. I will zoom in to the timeline a bit, like so. Then I move the time slider up to 30. I come over here to type 30 here. This will be the starting point of the animation of the camera. So here I will add a keyframe. So I move the cursor to this viewfinder. You can also have the cursor here in this viewport if you want to. But I have the cursor here, and then I press I on the keyboard, add a keyframe on location and rotation, and the keyframe is added here at the timeline. Then I move the timeline the time slider up to 150. I type 150 here, hit enter. Then I also activate auto keying. That means that when I move the camera and then let go the mouse button, a keyframe will be added here at 150. Then I will also hide this menu by pressing N on the keyboard. So here I will move the camera by have the cursor over the center of this viewport or the viewfinder, and then I press and hold the middle mouse button. Then I drag the mouse backward to move the camera. You see on the right hand side how it will move, and to this position around here so that we see the engine from above. Then I let go the middle mouse button. A keyframe is added here at the timeline. Then I press the shift key and the middle mouse button, move the camera backward a bit, like so that we see the whole engine. Then I drop the middle mouse button and the shift key here. So that movement is now added to this keyframe. So that means if I now drag the time slider to 30, we see the movement of the camera, like so. So that's how you can animate a camera by just moving the camera. So that was the first camera, and we will continue with the second camera in the next video. But before we do that, we will deactivate the auto keying, and also we press Ctrl S to save the file.